Hello, and welcome to the podcast episode 9, where today we're going to be interviewing SoyoJoo. So,
Yes.
this was a request made by him. I saw him on YouTube, I listened to his music, and I thought, wow, he's actually pretty good. Um, and I commented on one of his videos, and I said, hey, could you make a song for my podcast? He said, yeah. And then he asked me if we could do an interview, and I said, yes. So that's a fair trade, I would say. Um,
W.
so I'd like to start with the maybe or maybe not simple question of who you are.
Um. Okay. So my name is SoyoJoo, and I am a 12-year-old music producer. I use FL Studio 20 and make beats from pure scratch. Um. I would also say that I like gaming and like drawing and stuff like that, and that's just kind of about me. I don't know. I'd like the reason I make music is because I think it's really fun, and I genuinely actually want to like be good in the music industry and all that. And yeah, that's how I would. That's what I would say about myself.
All right. So next question is what who or what inspires you to make your music?
Um. So there's plenty of inspirations, but the thing that made me do music in the first place was back in like 2021 or so. I used to make like these cringy like gaming videos and stuff, and I was for Halloween. You know, Soyo Joe, he's like an actual mascot. He's a TV head person, and for Halloween, I actually dressed up for him as him. And while we were trying to pick up the costume, my dad said I was talking about music and making music, and my dad said, well, if you do music, just know that your lyrics should make sense. And that sentence, the night after, inspired me to make my first song on some crappy like music producing app called Soundtrap or something. And I made a song called No Sense, which the lyrics made absolutely no sense. And I was like, hey, this is cool. So now that you know how I started music or why in the first place, my inspirations for like different songs. My favorite rappers are my inspirations, like Lil Darky, and his producers too, Wendigo and Lil Cubensis. I think that's how you pronounce them. Uh, Pierre Bourne and Tyler the Creator. Those are like my main inspirations because they're like really good at producing, in my opinion.
I mean, inspiration can go a long way. I definitely can. Anyone who says that, I will agree with. So the next question I want to ask is, what is like the best software that you've used?
Um, thing Are we talking like music or just like recording too? Because I used like OBS. If we're talking like recording in general, then I think like
Well,
I don't know.
I'm talking about like best software for like recording music.
Yeah, music. Okay. Because then I've used I when in the early days of when I started making music, I think until there was one song which didn't. Okay, so basically, I used an app called Soundtrap, which kind of sucked. Um, and I don't like it because there's not much you can do with it if you don't pay a bunch of money. And um, so then my first one of my first songs I produced with FL Studio, which is my dad. Before I even started making music, my dad put FL Studio on the computer, and I hated it. I thought it sucked. So then I used Soundtrap, but then Soundtrap got boring. So then I tried FL Studio, and I actually got really good with it. And what I use to record vocals, I use Audacity because I don't have the full version of FL Studio yet.
Funny you say Audacity. I actually downloaded Audacity yesterday and tried to use it to record me playing my guitar. And then I found out that it took a little more than just using an amplifier and an adapter.
Oh,
I think
that's that's pain.
it really was because I mean I'm pretty sure I have all the tools necessary. I don't have the input knowledge.
Yeah, that's what you can. That's what being like younger is like. People say younger kids have imagination and stuff and creativity. That's what's true. That's how I can easily make beats in like 1 to 3 hours. It's just because I have the creativity. But
Right.
the problem, the reason most kids aren't like working hard doing their hobbies, like trying to be actually professional, is just because they don't really have the tools to do so. We live in a society where younger people can't really, like express themselves. If that makes any sense. Like
Yeah, I
I
know what
was
you
in
mean.
this Discord server, and there was a self promotion channel, and I promoted my music. And this random guy, everybody loved my music, and this one guy, he just said, "You're too young to make a you're too young to take your music career seriously." I said, I'm not taking it that seriously. Plus, that's wrong. You can be any age to do what you want. You just have to be smart and creative enough.
I
So
agree.
that's yeah, because we are making like good work. We're working on our like passions, and that's the beauty of all of it. I like when I see fellow people making the best they can and stuff. Yeah.
So, next question. What are the tools and instruments that you use?
Well, I don't really use like actual instruments per se. I use synths and stuff and VSTs, but I know a bit about piano and stuff. I'm kind of decent at like I'm a beginner in piano, and I did do guitar. Like in our school, we do like guitar and piano lessons, so that could count. I also really like drums. Like I really want to play drums because I have good rhythm.
Yeah, drums are nice. They have a nice beat to them.
Yeah.
So, next question. What is I, I'm not sure if you've I think you've already answered this question. I could be wrong. But what is I guess what is the best order to make music in? Like, you know what I mean by that?
Oh, I know what you mean. Well, order like if we're talking like instruments, then the order I do in making music, I usually start with snares or claps, then I add kicks and hi hats. Then I add an then I add like perks and box or VOX. I don't remember. I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, say it, but then then I do 808s, which are like these bass sounds if you don't really know. And perks are like also like perks are like is short for percussion, and VOX is like vocal stuff. Like for like an example, somebody saying like yuh or something. I don't really know. No, that's an ad. I don't know. But then I actually start using instruments for like synths after I do the drums, or sometimes it's vice versa. It just really depends on my mood. If that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. So, what was the start of your YouTube quote unquote career?
Well, I need to reference. Hold up. Basically, what ever since I was a little tiny little baby, I've unironically wanted to be a YouTuber. Like back when I was little, I hang out with my grandma a lot, and I played video games a lot, even when I was like 3. So, and I watched YouTube a lot because YouTube was pretty early, and I think it was on the TV back then. So we watched YouTube on the TV on my Xbox, and that was like, wow, I really want to do YouTube because I used to watch YouTubers I used to watch include like EvanTube HD, if you know who that is. He was a major inspiration in my coming up. And so I actually got once I got my computer and I figured out how I could like record videos. I made my first video. It's a Roblox one, which I just play random games and yap about like my life and stuff. And ever since then, I did YouTube videos. But but even back then, there were actual songs that I made too. The greatest YBA day, um, the worst song ever, um, fast run and quick chase, and uh, why did I make this? Please help. Those technically are my first like songs before No Sense, and 2014, which was my first album. Do not listen to 2014. It is not. It's actually terrible. Like you won't actually enjoy it.
That I mean, when I play the guitar, I mean, I essentially just say the same about my own music. But I mean, you know, it's good to know that other people enjoy your music because
Do you think you can hear it? Do you think I could play 2014? Because it sucks. It's terrible.
you could.
Here, let me see if I can. Oh, never mind.
So, what is an upcoming song? Like, what's an upcoming music that you have?
Well, there are actually like tons of like upcoming music. There is an album coming out. It's called
Exciting.
SoyoJoo the album. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 songs so far, counting interludes and stuff, as well as a bunch of like songs and beats. Because I actually want to work for like rappers and stuff, but I just can't. I can't. No rappers know about me, and they do not. They don't know who I am. So that's the problem. So I just have a bunch of beats that could go to a rapper who will rap with it, but just sit in my folder or downloads page and just rot to death, which is
I'm
kind of sad. But I listen to my music. I listen to my own music a lot. So
yeah,
that's
just saying 11 songs in a single album is impressive.
yeah.
That is a lot.
Speaking of albums, did you hear the new Travis Scott album?
No, I don't listen to Travis Scott.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, and it's very like new and kind of experimental in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I think of it. I listened to the entire album.
And also about you trying to get or like work for rappers. I think you're actually going down a really good track to work with rappers because I mean you're in the same department. I mean you have a passion. You're trying to do this. You have one set goal, and you're going down the same track as a rapper. You're making music, so as a rapper. I mean you're going down a pretty good track to do that.
Yeah, and as well as that, I also make rap music. I'm not just a producer. Like, and some I've actually have like I sometimes when I'm bored, I'll like write down lyrics on my phone and on my notepad. So I'm not just a producer, not at least not anymore. Because back there was a song called "Back to the Basics" and I hate it. It's like one of my least favorite songs I've ever made, and I don't know why I still it's still up. So if you want to listen to garbage, listen to that song. But ever since then, I stopped making like rap. But recently, I've actually started getting back into it because I'm like making just beats is kind of boring. I want to actually like express myself even more than normal. So that's yeah.
So you said that you used to do a podcast. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, back there were many, and I mean many, like failed scrap podcasts that I tried to do. They're all like crappy. Some of them were actually sort of interesting. Like we used to talk about like certain things that were kind of cool. Uh, there was the Oofcast, which my friend Landon hosted, or my cousin Landon hosted. There was also um oh, what was it called? Game Talk with Friends. And I actually don't know where these are. Like I can't even find them on my channel, which is weird. So here it live. Here they are. Super live YouTube. Even no, I didn't even like live stream it. I'm confused. Like I don't even know where I posted these. Maybe Landon posted them. I don't know.
It just disappeared.
Yeah, I just can't find these videos. That's so strange. Making a game? No. Like where is all this? Oh, new series, the Oofcast. This, yeah, it was kind of so. This was 8 months ago. Oh my god, how time flies! I'll have to send you this later. It's actually, I think we talked about like religion and stuff on the podcast, but
Deep territory
yeah,
there.
deep territory. But no, it wasn't like arguing. We were just like, we both have like sort of similar beliefs. So that's what's pretty interesting. And if Landon, if you're watching this, shout out to you. You carried SoyoJoo before we started making music. We used to collab all the time. And he helped with the making of this channel. So massive, insane shout out to Landon.
What he said. So, okay, another question. What if there was you in my opinion YouTube sucks. If there was another platform that you had to move to because YouTube thought your channel was bad for some reason because that's just the way YouTube is, what would you move to?
That's a good question. Well, especially now, I don't really use YouTube to like upload actual videos. I have a SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and I you can put those in the link in the description so you
I
can
will.
check those out. Um, but that's a deep question because if they ban my channel, that's a ton of memories wasted. Like there is so much I posted here. There's like videos from my vacation, all that stuff. So I need to like archive it at least, and that would be my top priority. But moving would probably not. But if I had to, I would probably just stick with SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and I'd also get DistroKid so I can continue to make like they would make me upload YouTube to YouTube still, which I think would work, and Spotify and Apple Music. So actually, that's what I might do. I might actually just buy DistroKid right now or later. But yeah, that's what I would probably do. Just
You
I
know what?
probably wouldn't even care.
What I would do is I would either move to Spotify or Rumble.
Oh yeah.
I think Rumble would be the one. I've tried using Rumble before, or no, I haven't. But well, I have, but it's it's a little worse than YouTube, at least in the user interface kind of way. But they don't really care as much about what you say. I'm
I
not
don't know
saying
what I've
I
never heard of Rumble. What is?
Rumble is like YouTube, except they just like don't care what you post. Essentially,
Oh,
I'm not saying
oh,
I'm
I
not
see
saying
it.
like I'll most definitely get into controversy, even though I probably will. And that's why I'm kind of like scared of my YouTube channel becoming big, is because, you know, I might get into some controversy. I don't care about really getting into controversy, but I'd like to keep my channel on YouTube.
Mhm.
Even I know I'm kind of being a hypocrite after because I just said, I hate YouTube and it sucks, but it's it's what I'm used to, you know?
Yes. Hmm.
So what is your life like, if you're allowed to disclose that?
Oh yeah. Okay. So outside of music, I'm pretty good in school. I got like good grades and stuff. But one of the biggest things in my life is my friend group, or you could some people call it a gang, which is not really true, but I call it like a crew or a group, and it's called the SoyoJoo Reapers, and I created it. Actually, I didn't. It has a lot of history to it. But essentially, in the town that we live in, we usually hang out all the time, and we do have like enemies. That's the thing that people say it's a gang because we have ops, and sometimes I'll sing about that in my songs. in my song Op Killers, which is kind of obvious, I said smoking on KC, which is a person who we don't like, and he did some things, and now he is jailed, you could say. But that's I don't really know what happened to him, honestly. Because nobody really talks to him. There's lots of ops, and currently there are multiple people in real life trying to jump me and spot me in the town and jump, which I'm not really. I don't really care. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more about my life, you can follow my IG, and if you, I'll send you that so you can put that in the description too.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll go live on there, like live videos of me just like walking through town and like just being on my antics and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, if you want to follow my stuff, I'll the link tree and other socials will be in the description. And follow me on IG because I will do posts about upcoming music and also live stream about my day to day life. More albums, more songs, more stuff like that coming out. And yeah, like I said.
So, with that, I think it is time to end this episode. Have a good day and go subscribe to him.